My name is Elizabeth from Elizabeth Magical Garden. Here is where I empower women to reclaim their authentic power, embrace their inner wisdom, and transform life most challenges. Transitions into profound opportunities for spiritual growth and self-discovery. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. Subscribe to the newsletter at Elizabeth Magical Garden, as well as check out my podcast at Elizabeth Magical Garden, which goes live
to the podcast, guys. It is December. We are in the thick of it, guys, and I pray that everybody is in the right frame of mind. This particular podcast episode is dedicated towards mental health, something that I hold near and dear to myself. I have mentioned that I had previous episodes of struggle in the area of anxiety and speaking to a therapist, which has changed my life. But this episode is not about getting you to go or whether you should. That's something that I'll leave up to you, because say what you want to say, but if you're not ready for the work, it's not going to work. I noticed over the course of time, one of my main triggers for my anxiety, me experiencing anxiety, was the holidays, family and friends, me putting the world on my shoulders, me taking on ridiculous responsibility upon myself. No one asked me to do it, where I created a world within a world that I despised. And it wasn't until I started my own self-development, which has gone through over decades and decades. It takes time, but I'm here to tell you, I'm here to usher you into a new way of thinking, at least imposing upon you a different way of looking at things. I noticed that things would occur as November, December, even before, I would say like once after, like once September is out, is down, once it's past September, I would notice people's behaviors, the things that people would say to me. And this is no malicious thing, but it's just all the things that would gear me up to the ultimate anxiety episodes that I've experienced over the course of my life. And this is me being candid, because I do feel like mental health is something that we all should concern ourselves with. I mean, hence we do have a brain, and just like anything else you pay attention to, paying attention to your mind, the way you think, your thought process, and the things that trigger those emotions is important. I've mentioned writing in journals. Writing is one of the most powerful things that you could do for your life, because it forces you to practice mindfulness. You're mindfully, that's why writing, using your motor skills, using those motor skills on a piece of paper. Yes, we have the phones, we could text, but there is something to be said when you are physically doing the thing, right? And you're using more areas of your brain, which hence will allow you to retain and remember the thing that you are writing. So once I've been doing, guys, I've been on this trail for a very long time, and the things that is consistent in my life works. And writing in my journal is consistent because I'm writing it down, I'm getting it out of my head, I'm allowing myself a chance to retain other information, because we are human beings, we are not computers. So people would say certain things like, are you ready? The holidays, and it's just like this. And you know what I'm speaking about. You've been there. Listen, you know what it is. You're the go-to. You're the home that usually, or the energy that people has to have in their life. And Christmas, they're coming for their portion. They're coming for you, girl. Okay, or guy. They're coming for you. And what the ones that are on the other side, what they are not, why, what they're not aware of is the amount of pressure that weighs upon the individual. It's uncanny to the point where and you know what, I could be wrong, but they don't care. They truly do not care. If you do not care for your person, if you do not care what is imposed upon you or what energy or how you feel in your body, because no one could tell you how to feel inside your body but you, after God. Okay? You are in this body. You know what is your triggers. And a lot of us, I believe, get embarrassed because it can seem something very, it always appears to be something that's like a feather, like, oh, what, that? What what many people do not realize, it's kind of, I equate it to your cup overflowing. Okay. That feather was it. And rather than be in that state of frenzy, rather than allow ourselves to experience this roller coaster that we just allow ourselves to go blindly in and go through the process of healing. Like, January shouldn't just be about healing, girl. Like, don't get me wrong, heal all the time, yes, but it shouldn't be because you allowed yourself to be in a state of abuse. You abused yourself. You not loving yourself. You not having the ability to say no because you are afraid to look like the villain in somebody else's story. You know what? Let's just stop right there. Let's put a pin in that. That was me all the way. Let me tell you, all it did was gave me a quick first row seat to people pleasing road. Okay. And people pleasing can come up in a lot of different ways. A lot of times, let me tell you something. A lot of times, people think that people pleasing seems off the cut, off in front. It seems weak, or it's a weak person that would allow themselves to people please. And you're right. The thing is, it doesn't always show up in a way that you think it should. People pleasing can be anywhere from, you knew that you was going to sit at your desk, or you was going to stay at your office, or you was going to stay home in your office and not go out today. You was going to have lunch inside. And you knew that that was your plan, and you really meant that. You didn't want to because your energy is low. You've been around people all week. You've been speaking to people all night. You want to allow yourself a brief moment to have some quiet. Then you get an email, or you get a phone call or a text. Mostly text, because people are not really calling like that. Well, maybe. Okay. And someone is asking to meet up with you for lunch. A person that you that it now, aside from it being business, and I would say I would leave that to your discretion. Always make your money, okay? Personal, friendship, and sometimes even business. Listen, you have to, especially if you are the business, you have to make sure you allot a certain amount of energy to be in business. And you can't achieve anything if you're whoring your energy around, right? Saying no might ruffle a couple of feathers, especially, and it's not their fault. I bring your thought towards looking at it from this perspective. Is it really the individual's fault for having the feathers a bit ruffled or even ruffled when you were always the one saying yes? I mean, I think logically, when we look at it from a logic perspective, even down to, even towards from the nervous system perspective, a reaction unknown, unfamiliar reaction is going to provoke friction. It's going to provoke something. It's going to provoke energy. It's going to provoke a feeling because it hasn't been experienced before. This is why practicing mindfulness is so important, because this is where I started going into the mind gym, playing it out from all ends, right? Zooming out and seeing things not from not only my perspective, me. What is the friction there? I always like to see what is the cause behind the action, good or bad, regardless. And once I usually 9 times out of 10, once I am able, right, to, because I am a human being, once I'm able to fulfill that, I go, oh, okay. So this is new. This is a new thing I'm doing. It may not be new to me. I just wasn't being true to myself and I wasn't respecting myself to say no. But this person has always gotten a yes, and hearing no is causing a reaction. You see what I'm saying? So this way of thinking allows you so much freedom, guys, because Christmas, the holidays, is a very sensitive topic for everything: money, energy, love, sorrow, you name it. Allowing yourself to say no and not push, not put yourself, not send yourself in a frenzy. And saying no can show up like you're not putting a tree up this Christmas. Saying no could be you're not even in town this Christmas. Saying no could be staying home and not answering the phone this Christmas. It's okay. It's not necessarily coming from a sad space. And this is what I would just want to briefly take and put light on. This concept is not necessarily coming from a bad, sad, or a sad space. This is a space of healing. Think about it. If you've been going, there's no give anywhere. And then you do finally get a space where, yeah, it's a holiday. So people assume that everybody's going to be with their loved ones. If you can seize the opportunity and reserve whatever energy that allows you to say no, maybe you weren't able to say no at your job, maybe you weren't been able to say no to other things that you had to go do. Maybe you couldn't say no because you had to go attend a play for your children. Maybe you couldn't say no to your grandmother because you knew she always make that special dish every Christmas. Maybe you couldn't say no to certain things, but anywhere, and I'm going to repeat that, anywhere you can say no, say it. Say it and let the chips fall where it may. Because let me tell you something, 2026 is literally it's right outside our window. Is right outside the window. And this is not a time to have any confusion. I'd rather be loved for who I am than being loved for someone I'm not. Period. And when you see things from that perspective and allow you to sit with it, and this is why writing is so important, guys, because it allows you to sit with your thoughts. It allows you to see your thought process, right? So to wrap this all up, once we allow ourselves to understand why we think the way we do, 9 times out of 10 is because trauma have you experienced some type of trauma when you were younger. Honestly, you're not by yourself, right? I can see it the way I hold, like there's times where I'm just tense and I'm like, why am I sitting like that? Why, and then again, because I've been training, I've been going to the gym, I've been moving my body, guys. You have to do it. And especially when you're in your mid age. Listen, when I turned 50, everything hit. I don't even know where everything went. It's just like poof, be gone. It was like a bad joke. And I had to relearn everything. Everything that used to work, all the things that since I became a mother, I became a mother when I was 18. Okay. So I've been in this beat. I've been on the beat for many, many a years. And what got me through was the things that I learned along the way and I kept with me in my arsenal. So when I hit 50 and menopause it, for none of those things to work, well, some of them I was able to bring with me and some of them I had to let go. And I wasn't finished playing with them. They were still shiny, guys. I still want to hold on, but I had to let go. Lesson number one, know when to say no because you have to know when to let go. Once you learn that it's okay to let go and experience what happens when you do, because usually when you open the door, something else is able to come in. It's growth. You're growing. You're learning. You're allowing yourself to have faith and know that God loves you. Your design, how you was fit in this beautiful body that you have was not an afterthought, guys. Right? So, guys, be sure to check all the links down below. Sign up to my email list. I have a gift for you guys. I believe that would be a great start, especially for the new year. So be sure to check that out at Elizabeth Magical Garden. Subscribe to the vlog at Elizabeth Magical Garden. There's behind the scenes, there's your girl on a different level. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast channel at Elizabeth Magical Garden Podcast. We are growing. I'm putting up shorts, guys. I'm being more active on that platform. So a lot of things that's connected to this podcast that will go live will definitely be on that platform. So you want to subscribe to that. Guys, stay blessed, stay in peace, and stay empowered. Peace. Hey guys, leave a comment and review, preferably 5 stars. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram because what is popping over there? And also check out my YouTube channel to stay connected and see your girl's lovely face. Guys, I love you so much. Keep on pushing, and I'll definitely speak to you soon. Be blessed.